The Traveler to me, it's interesting because some songs you write and you write them with inherent meaning, and some songs that you write, the meaning appears after you write them. One of the biggest things I learned about songwriting from John Mayer was that you don't have to overcomplicate what you're trying to say. You just have to say
The 19-year-old Richmond-based singer is gaining popularity in the River City for his mix of blues and pop.
So tell us a little bit about your music career. Where did you start and where do you plan on going?
Well, I started playing music, actually, about a year and a half ago is when I started writing songs. I started playing music about 5 years ago.
Hello, my name is Josh. I'm in... Ding dong! All right, so, hey, my name is Josh. I'm in grade 9, and I go to school at Manchester High School. The feeling of like knowing, wow, I did this. That's pretty cool. And just being able to play music in general is a really rewarding thing. There's the word rewarding. But I want to eventually learn to write my own music and melodies and stuff, and maybe transform it into a career.
Pickup, and there's an electric guitar doing the Strat pickup. That's cool. I just gotta unfuck it now. I always touch that thing even though I know I shouldn't. I mean, I know the measurements. It's like 1.75, I think. I just gotta get it back.
I'm setting the action on my guitar to match this one because I like how this one plays. And I've liked how acoustic guitars play more than electric guitars. And every couple weeks, my hands kind of get bored of how my electric guitar feels. It had to be perfect. That's the thing, and that's why I always kind of tinker with it. Is because when it's not perfect, it pisses me off. It needs to be. It needs to be always representative of what I'm trying to achieve with the sound. I mean, if something isn't right, I will sit here for 5 years and make sure it gets right. And then when it does, it'll probably be right for 2 weeks, and then I'll mess it up again. And then I'll go back and do it again. Because I have to make sure all that works right. Because if it doesn't, then I'm going to feel it. I'm going to feel it on the stage. I'm going to feel it when I play. There's been times where I've worked on guitars and I've messed up on something and I would not touch the guitar for a week. Because it bothered me so much that I couldn't do it. When I was at the tail end of high school, I knew I wanted to be a musician. When I got out of high school, it was kind of defining the path for me. So you're right, I wasn't just sitting around and, looking at Google all day. I knew what I wanted to do, but I had to figure out a way to do it. And so I was pretty much just going out as much as I could, looking around and trying to explore more of the world so I can understand exactly what turf I'm walking on. I think a lot of people who fail on what they want to do in this world are people who are uneducated and living. I mean,
Because you can go to college, you can go to grade school, but if you don't have the experience to look around and understand what you're seeing, what's the point? My expectation is not to be a Richmond bar musician. I mean, if I wanted to do that, I'd go get a cork guitar and start playing AC/DC in the bar. I want to be recognized for my music as much as I can be. I don't really have a desire for money other than to survive. I have a desire for people to understand and hear what I'm saying in my songs. I've gotten pretty heartfelt feedback. I mean, I played at a mainline brewery for like an audience of like 3.5 people, and the 2 people that were there came up to me after and was like, "I really like your music. That touched my heart a lot. You know, they need to book you here on like, you know, high traffic days." I want to end up being exactly where people that I adore are. You know, people like John Mayer, Billy Joel, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jeff Buckley. You know, all of them sort of have this kind of mystical but understandable feel to them, and I want to take myself and my music to that same plane. I would say what I'm most looking forward to is getting to play more venues in the Richmond area and really dive deeper into what the city has to offer. And once I kind of get around that circuit, have familiarity with it, you know, getting to jump up to somewhere like DC. Of course I want to move to New York in the future, as you know, but just because I want to move somewhere doesn't mean I don't want to walk the path along the way. I had to have about 2 major surgeries done, or else I would not be able to sing. I had something called a tonsillectomy done, and I actually kind of died during the emergency surgery for it. I had to have 2 emergency surgeries. And along with that, something called a septoplasty, where they basically take out your septum and rearrange it and make it straight and put it back in. Before that, I kind of sounded like Squidward, to be honest. I do have a belief that death makes life worth living. Yeah. I like the idea that you turn off the lights and that's all. And so when I did die, and I found out I had died, it didn't really stun me as much as it was someone else who'd be like, "Oh, thank God, a second chance." Because it's just, if it was going to happen, it was. Before the surgery, I mean, I sounded like I had a frog in my throat all the time. I'm going to do something for reference. Because you have this in your 5 years ago. No, I'm not colorblind. I know the world is black and white. Try to keep an open mind, but just can't sleep on this tonight. Stop this train, I wanna get off and go again. I can't take the speed it's moving. I know I can, but honestly, when someone stop this train. Now, 5 years ago, I'm sure you remember what that sounded like. No, I'm not colorblind. It was not good. And you know, that was not my best, because I should be on rest, but it was passable. Everything that I am now in my life, some way or some sort of way or another, is influenced indirectly or directly by music, down to the very relationships I have. The way I dress is influenced by the musicians that I adore. I mean, Jeff Buckley wears a white V-neck, John Mayer wears cargo pants, you know, Paul McCartney wears scarves. Like, you know, 4 Explorers musicians are always driving the guitar I have. I mean, I met the girl I'm dating right now at a park when I was playing my songs. Music to me is this force that has always given me things that I hold on to. see myself being successful in music. I see myself living in New York, and I see myself having a decently large fame. To wake up is to live. To live is to want to succeed. To want to succeed is to want to succeed in music. And to want to succeed in music is to live.